Game 4, game 4. Whoops, it's a best of 5. We are 2-1 to ICRedd at present. We're on Romanticide. It's ICRedd in the top left. It's Seli in the bottom right. I wonder. Surprised no Hellion run by. Maybe this will be the game. The big old 4 Hellion medevac drop is always a pleasing thing to see. I don't know, Seli, I've thought the play's been pretty reasonable. I mean, eating those storms wasn't ideal, but you know, you haven't had to play against many storms. I really liked the Widowmine drop. It was very, very tasteful indeed, and the macro has been pretty solid. So yeah, not bad, not bad. This worker's coming across is going to do some scouting. Based on the rally point, it looks awfully like there's going to be a Reaper first from Seli as soon as the barracks finishes up. And yeah, everything looking normal over here. So, yeah, double gas is pretty standard for Protoss, to be honest. Pretty standard stuff. So yeah, Seli with the 1 gas. You know, Terran, typically you can expand off 1 gas, you just because you've got Marines. With Protoss, a little bit trickier to expand off 1 gas, and it's pretty common to have the double gas before your expo. So this worker just kind of going to be a little bit annoying, but I wouldn't let it distract you too much. You know, the main thing is get your command center done. Once the Reaper does come out, it's going to chase the worker off without any bother. So, what we're going to see? What we're going to see? That's what I'd like to know. When is it all going to kick off? ICRedd with the bang on time Nexus. Yeah, you know, the subcore has finished up, and yeah, this is like about as normal as can be, really, from both players. Really, really straight up play. You know, racks factory with the expo build-in, gateway side core expo. I mean, really standard stuff. So the Reaper's going to come in and is going to have a quick peek and is going to see that this is a starport build. So that is straight away very useful information. I see Red pulling back the weekend worker. I like it, but it looks like the Reaper is going to chase it down. Should be able to get out of there without too much bother. And there is another worker here that he can pick off as well. So already this Reaper is having a ball. Needs to run now though once the adept comes. Arguably if he'd continued to focus that worker, he might have got the kill on it. But yeah, he's managed to pick off a couple of workers. But look, isn't building workers himself. Seli, why are you not building workers? Oh, interesting. Going for the swap. I hate when that happens. I do that all the time. Just go to land the building, and in my rush to like just really quickly flick them over, manage to miss the add-on. It's really annoying. Anyway, yeah. So it's going to be a cyclone out. He's seen the Stargate, and he knows probably that there's going to be an Oracle coming. So the cyclone is a great choice. Unfortunately, it's not an Oracle. It's actually a Void Ray. The cyclone's still not a terrible choice with that Magfield accelerator upgrade. That, you know, it has been nerfed and it isn't such a big deal now, but the cyclone can still be really useful at seeing off low numbers of air units, so I don't mind that at all. And there is actually going to be an Oracle after all, so the cyclone with a lock on the Oracle can actually just take care of it. Oh, could have got a lock on the adept there and actually killed the adept, but decided to just walk straight past it. Very interesting indeed. Saw a game just the other day. Who was it? TY versus Maru. Yeah, when was it TY? No, it was Clan. I can't quite remember. I can't quite remember who it was. But anyway, the player that was going for the old switcheroo here, Maru had done like a proxy barracks, to delay some stuff, and I think it was Clem had seen off the proxy, which is fine. So Maru had flown the barracks into his opponent's base to do a bit of scouting, and as Clem went for the swap onto the add-on, Maru stole the add-on, which is just so savage. Which you can do, you can land your building on an enemy add-on and it becomes your add-on then as soon as you do that, which meant that Clem's units were shooting his own add-on. Oh, it was savagery. I mean, you know, these pros, man, like once it gets to the point where you're microing buildings, it's just like, oh, come on, dude, you've got too much spare APM in your hands that you're gonna start microing a building on the other side of the map. Like, not content with just like beasting the micro of all your units and your macro, you're on the other side harassing with a barracks. What the hell? I've never seen anything quite like it before in all my days. It was great. Anyway, yeah, so ICRedd, you know, is probably thinking, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Void Rays and carriers for the win. The Oracle's going to come in. I don't know what happened to the thingy-mabob, the Cyclone, in the end. You know, what did happen to it? Focusing these gas workers, and unfortunately gets them. Seli hasn't pulled the workers at all. I just pulled towards the turret. But the Vikings are going to turn up and save the day. So not too many workers killed, but 3 workers arguably unnecessarily. All you had to do was pull them over here, get them mining on this patch. And the Oracle can't give chase with the turret there. So anyway, oh, the Cyclones are in here. This is interesting. I mean, Cyclones are not great for killing workers in general. So I'm not 100% sure what these guys are going to do. They're going to come in here. You could get a lock on this Void Ray that's come out, but he is just going to start working. And now he's just going to run that. I don't. This is just weird. I've never really seen a Cyclone drop before, ever, to be honest. That's the first time I've seen that. And it wasn't massively effective. Oh, well, okay, did kill 8 workers. I suppose the Reaper got a couple, so maybe 6 workers with the Cyclones. Yeah, not terrible, but for 2 Cyclones and a medevac. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, you know, it was 5 workers killed for 1 Oracle. Yeah. I think the Oracle got the better value, but the more important deal here is, Seli, you've seen what your opponent's building, you've seen that he's going air again, so I'm kind of curious about why there are siege tanks building. You just don't really need them. They're not going to add anything, they're just going to use up your gas and they're going to use up your supply. So yeah, I'd like to see you commit hard. Oh my goodness, I've just accidentally pressed the Windows button and dumped myself to the desktop. I'm back. Yeah, I'd like to see him commit hard to either the bio approach to killing these carriers and stuff that are bound to be coming, or the mech approach. But it seems to be like this sort of middle. There's some siege tanks, there's some marines. You know, if you're going to kill it with marines, you need stim, you need upgrades off of 2 eBays, and you need a lot of marines. But it looks like he's going to come in and see what he can get done. Again, that's a lot of shield batteries, and you cannot fight this anywhere near those shield batteries. You just can't. And the siege tanks aren't going to add anything to this at all, unfortunately. So the shield batteries over this side as well, and I don't know, Seli, what this is about, but this just doesn't look like this is going to go well. A couple of Widow Mines would have just been so much more useful in there, because, you know, the splash from the Widow Mines, Widow Mine does so much damage that the shield batteries don't really make any difference. But with all of that said, he has killed a large amount of workers. But it's cost him a lot of army, so I think ICRedd's just going to push across now with the big army supply advantage. You know, 19 workers killed, so that is not to be sneezed at, but what's he got left at home to defend the Void Rays that are inevitably coming? Because this siege tank isn't going to do it, and this feels all too familiar with this third flying down and getting sniped. This isn't enough marines, not by a long shot. There's no turrets to fall back on. This one's never going to get built. There's no Widow Mines. to kind of strip these void rays of all their shields or anything like that. The workers aren't repairing the Vikings even, so actually the void rays are just going to stand strong. Now this bunker could tread quite well if the void rays go in that direction. I don't think they're going to, so he needs to empty the bunker, get the Marines out, and try something here. But to be honest, it's just too many void rays, isn't it? It's too many void rays. There's 9 void rays here. The tanks, I don't know why the tanks are coming up the ramp. All they're going to do is get in the way of the Marines. The Viking comes out and just dies instantly. Do the Marines have stim? I'm not sure. These ones are still in the bunker. They shouldn't be. It's just going to be GG. And so it is, in fact, ICRedd that takes it 3 games to 1. GG.